Hi guys, welcome back to Spice Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you're joining us for the first time, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Now, my country people, some northern senators are not happy with Godswill Akpabio, the Senate president. This is because of the alleged padding of the 2024 budget with about 4 trillion worth of projects. And guys, this is really huge. So the Northern Senators under the aegis of the Northern Senators Forum have confronted the Senate President Godswill Akpabio over this issue. And the representatives of the 58-member forum, led by its chairman Abdul Negi, PDP Bauchi, had confronted Godswill Akpabio at a meeting recently held in Abuja. And now, they are saying that Godswill Akpabio inserted projects worth 4 trillion in the 2024 budget. So they are pointing accusation fingers at Godswill Akpabio, and they allege that the project, which has no specific locations, were inserted into this 2024 budget. They also claim that the budget was lopsided against the north and some part of the south. So they are accusing Godswill Akpabio of railroading the senators to hurriedly pass the most fraudulent budget in the history of Nigeria. And at this point, Mr. Akpabio, could not even defend the allegation, but had said that the project, complete about were probably inserted into the budget by unknown persons. That's this project that it's been alleged by these northern senators were probably inserted into the 2024 budget by unknown persons. I mean, how could that be possible? He couldn't defend the project. Instead, he said he did not know how it happened. He did not defend the allegations by these northern senators. Instead, he denied it. So it was learned that the Senate president, who claimed ignorance of the insertions, had asked Mr. Alin Dume if he knew how it happened. But Alin Dume said he has no idea, that he wasn't aware of how this padding of the 2024 budget occurred, of getting up to 4 trillion naira. And after the meeting ended, Akpabio had assured the senators that definitely he would look into this matter. He's going to look into this matter. However, some senators who attended the meeting said they were surprised that hours after meeting with the Senate president, some lawmakers that are loyal to him, they began to mobilize southern senators to counter the move of their northern colleagues. So at this point, it seems that something is really, really fishy. So the northern senators had, days before confronting Godswill Akpabio, they had met at an undisclosed location in Abuja, where they resolved to challenge the Senate president. At this point, it was learned that Mr. Akpabio's move to mobilize the southern senators may have, informed Mr. Negil's interview, where he claimed that two federal budgets were in operation. So guys, this is really huge, and I must say there is a lot of things going on in the Senate. Definitely something fishy is going on, and the northern senators are not quite comfortable with this. I mean, the fact that Godswill Akpabio allegedly padded the 2024 budget with projects worth 4 trillion naira, and now they are asking questions. Akpabio is saying he doesn't know how this happened, and then through the question at Alin Dume, who also denied, how this happened. But though Akpabio had, made his stand known that he would look into this issue. And at this point, they have uncovered some significant unauthorized changes and additions in the budget. And this, would have a widespread negative impact on our nation as a whole if the Senate president cannot identify how this came to pass. Now, he said he's not aware. So who approved this budget in the first place? So my country people, before now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had presented a budget of about 27.5 trillion for the 2024 fiscal year, to a joint session with of the National Assembly in November. And that was his first full budget proposal since he assumed office on May 29th. However, while passing the budget on 30th of December, the lawmakers had increased it by 1.2 trillion, bringing the total of 28.7 trillion. This was after they increased their allocations to some ministries, to some departments and agencies of the federal government, which they said received inadequate funding. And then they did this. And that was how Tinubu had signed the budget into law on 1st of January 2024. So we all know that this issue of budget padding has become a frequent occurrence in Nigeria since the restoration of democracy in Nigeria on the 29th of May 1999. It has, however, become more pronounced during the Buhari's presidency, because in 2016, allegations of budget padding by the National Assembly came up as a major scandal that eventually saw to the removal of the chairperson of the House of Representatives Committee on Appropriation. That was Jubrin from office, on July 20th that year. And then it was alleged that the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, and three other officials had fraudulently shortchanged the House, and then they abused their office by taking away 40 billion out of the 100 billion naira allocated for constituency, projects, and distributing some to themselves. So you see that this issue of corruption has long been in our system of government, and this became so obvious during the administration of the former president Muhammad Buhari, and now it has passed down to the administration of Tinubu. Let's not forget that the then president of the Senate back then, Bukola Saraki, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu, were accused of hijacking and padding the national budget for 4 years while they were in power. And now Tinubu has to really look into this before it brings bad name to his administration, which we're already seeing some signs. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? At this point, I don't know what is going on in the Senate. Godswill Akpabio being involved in this alleged padding of the 2024 budget. These guys are still hell-bent on looting in our country. Now, sometimes, at some point, most people tend to question the choice of Godswill Akpabio as the Senate president, being that as the minister of the NDDC, he had some, issues with looting. Even when he was governor for 8 years, you see, he had some, cases with looting and corruption here and there. So my country people, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you.